You're born for a purpose. I always believe that. A firm believer of that. Age is just a number. A firm believer of that. So it's just that how resilient you are. I love the moon. I just love the moon. She is my best friend. Because whatever that happens in my life, I just love to go up to the terrace, talk to her. Men are wired like a child. I always say that my husband is my first child.
Yeah.
You know, I can handle my daughter. I can just leave her and I can tell her, do. She will do it. My husband, you need to take that extra care and everything. So be it. If you miss a bullet's target, you're out of the circuit. So if you have to win a gold medal in your firing at the national level, your focus is very important. One day we switch off all the towers and we don't have WhatsApp coming. Will you be able to live? No. One day, no serials, no news, nothing on the television. Will you be alive? Weather reports, infiltrations in the border. You can't, right? So everything is to do with satellites.
You know, women have the capacity to build anything in what is given to them.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely.
We're very famous for being very frugal and get things done when resources are low.
This is the best charity that they can do, is to understand the kids. Children are super smart. What you and I were taking weeks to complete, they will complete it in hours. They can just create Shambhala, I would say, because that's my dream, to build a space city. Why not have an Indian star in the Hollywood just like Priyanka Chopra and all that?
Yeah.
So I would say I love to play the movie myself.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the SHE.E.O Effect podcast, and I'm your host, Vijayashree Parameswaran. Usually, I introduce guests by their titles: CEO, founder, scientist. But today, I'm introducing a woman who changed the future of my own family before she even sat in the chair. My son, who has avoided the topic of children for 6 years, came to me yesterday and said, Amma, I want a child, a girl child, and I want her to be under the guidance of Dr. Srimathy. Yeah, if a leader can inspire a generation to not just build satellite, but build families with the hope of for their daughters.
Wow.
That is the true SHE.E.O effect. She's a former paratrooper, a homemaker for 16 years. Now, the woman launching the world's lightest satellite with NASA and ISRO. Dr. Srimathy Kesan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. That was great introduction. Oh my God. What is this? Because, mostly people address me as space mom, space amma. This is like space grandmom. I'm loving this.
Wonderful.
Oh my God. Thank you for having me here in your show.
Yeah, wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
Srimathy, for 16 years you were a homemaker. And then you said a flight to Miami, you had to take a permission just 6 hours before. And that decision changed your life, right? Okay, I'm curious. What would have happened if you hadn't taken the flight?
Maybe it would have been pushed to another couple of years or so. See, you're born for a purpose. I always believe that. A firm believer of that. Age is just a number. A firm believer of that. So it's just that how resilient you are, how prepared you are to take up things whenever it befalls. So that way, I've done my master's at home.
Yes.
It's a huge family. It's a huge family. I always feel that the management masters and all for women, they just learn it at home with experience and exposure. We don't need to quote Philip Kotler or anything. Straight away, kitchen, family, and you learn every nuance of life.
Absolutely.
Right? And managing skills. So that just came naturally. And so you didn't need to wait for something. And of course, yes, I never thought it was going to be satellites and all that. That was something I think destiny had in store for me, because I love the moon. I just love the moon. She is my best friend. I repeat this everywhere and I feel so great to share that, because whatever that happens in my life, I just love to go up to the terrace, talk to her, come back. and didn't know that this would culminate somewhere into building satellites and finally now to put up a satellite on the moon.
Wow.
So, all these I feel is destiny in a way, but again, whatever is ingrained in your soul just comes out. So, you're just prepared
Beautiful.
for everything.
There's the saying, what you seek is also seeking you back, and looks like the moon responded. You got the love back. I have a very curious question. Traditionally, women in India, there was a time when we had to have permission, because you mentioned that, right? To get the permission 6 hours just before the flight. I'm just wondering how many women out there are waiting for permission. If you had one advice for them, what would it be?
Very true. I mean, I've mentioned this in most of my interviews, but none have actually picked up that word. I'm so excited that you rightly picked up that word. Permission here doesn't mean that I was under slavery or something. It is the love and respect, mutual respect that you give. And the generation that I belong to, whatever the woman needed to do, you had to speak to your husband, you had to share things with your husband, and you need to so called ask for permissions before you did something like this. I did not feel bothered about it.
Okay.
I was very happy. It is not a piece of advice to any women, but I would say, so what? Give it to them. If they are happy, so be it. Men are wired like a child. I always say that my husband is my first child.
Yeah.
You know, I can handle my daughter. I can just leave her and I can tell her, do. She will do it. My husband, you need to take that extra care and everything. So be it. When we are doing so many things outside our homes, when we are able to put up that smile and say yes and do everything,
Yeah.
which is pushing us beyond our threshold, we don't mind. We do that.
Absolutely.
Why rebel at home? Keep that peaceful. Keep that atmosphere peaceful. Give that little kick to the man. He's happy. So everything is happy. So the best part is never feel that you are, tied down. It's a kind of a slavery or something. No. You're the best partners,
Yeah.
best friends. And one friend needs this. Give it to him.
I love it. I love the way that even in spite of saying the word permission, how it is coming out from the space of respect, from the space of love, and from the space of that mutual entity that you have built called marriage, and how much of importance you're giving to that. And yeah, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. It's
See, because when you have a child, you're passing this on to the child.
yes.
Right? And generations need to understand it in the right way.
Yeah.
So no mistakes.
And that's the reason I picked it up.
Beautiful, and I just love it. And I think you're the only person until now for so many years, wheresoever I have mentioned this word, none of them have really picked up. I'm so glad you did that.
Thank you. And the next question, coming from a South Indian family, I'm from south of India. I know how particular we are about our education and where we stand, how we impart wisdom. We're very, very tall order for us, right? And we're very competitive. We've always have to ace it. And then you come, 16 years, a homemaker, enter into the world of NASA, ISRO, scientist. And I went and checked, and I think we had a conversation also about this. What is the background? No, zero science. How did you navigate that? Because usually from the way we are brought up, 100% I can tell you guaranteed with my coaching experience that 60% have this, I'm not good enough to stand here and talk. I'm not good enough to be in this crowd. That's this imposter syndrome with which we walk around. How did you break that?
Probably this was because of my sports and the NCC training that I had. You just need, when you fall, just pick up, run. The idea is to win. You have to shoot wherever you are, 3-pointers, outside, where you need to hold the ball firm. So you need to hold your values firm. That's how I correlate.
Beautiful.
So holding both firm, shooting it when you need to. So that way you are giving yourself to your work. Focus is very important. If you miss a bullet's target, you're out of the circuit.
Absolutely.
So if you have to win a gold medal in your firing, At the national level, your focus is very important. You're leading a contingent with 450 cadets and boys and girls. And mind you, you have to stand in front of, 3 boys who were like 6'6", 6'5", and I was only 5'2". And you command a parade with a sword, and the last person will hear your command.
Yeah.
In the sense, you need to be so firm in what you're doing, firm in what you are addressing. So every word that you utter is very important.
Beautiful.
So that's how life is. Your direction, your focus, your resilience, everything means a lot. And it is not that I wanted to start a business to make money or something. No. For me, right from as a child, the impact played a huge role. So what I was leaving behind, what is the legacy that I was going to leave behind? And from a family of absolute conservative South Indians, it was like you were getting married. In fact, on a fun note, I loved Bharatnatyam. And my mom would say, in the absolute dialect of, vernacular dialect, "Om purusha enna kuja thukita varuvaru, om pinnadi." No Bharatnatyam and all that.
Wow.
Because you cannot dance after you get married. So why do you want to invest time and do all that? Sports, again, I had to fight and come out. All my fights would be satyagraha. Never would I raise my voice and fight. It would always be firm, and I would make time for everything. So I said, I may not be able to do this now. In fact, you will be loving to listen to this. The day I held the sword and I marched and, I was given direct entry into the armed forces. They called my dad and they said, "Aisi ladki chahiye hame fauj mein," because paratrooping and word of command and, she's so good with guns and all these things. So they said, let's get the girls then, because back then it was very difficult. The girls were not into the armed forces and all that. My dad pulled out my wedding card. The same day at 4 o'clock, we were boarding the train from Hyderabad to Chennai to get married.
Wow.
So the sword became Spatula.
I know, I read your article on sword to spatula to the satellite.
Yeah, that's
right?
my TED speech. So Srimathy, I would say all S's. So beautiful. Srimathy, sword, spatula, and now space.
Beautiful.
Nothing is impossible. See, certain things, it's the people around you put you in a box.
Yeah.
They make you believe you're not good for this, you're not good for that. So if you start listening to people, you lose your natural instincts. You lose your natural self.
What I'm hearing is connect to your vision, connect to your values, connect to your purpose and the impact that you're bringing in. And you can stand tall, strong, anywhere, anytime, any day, right?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. What is it to be Dr. Srimathy Kesan for a day?
There is nothing as a specific routine as such, but even after my wedding, I started playing badminton. So I would be there, wake up as early as 3 o'clock, make a little bit of breakfast and rush to the court to play badminton, come back, then send my daughter to school and, the other chores and everything. Subsequently now, after getting into Shakti Sat, prior to this, the Azadi Sat, life has changed a lot because every time you need to be on the toes to convince so many people. As you rightly mentioned, people lose out thinking, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
I don't know, they feel they need somebody to hold their hands. So rather than me holding a racket in my hand, I thought people, let me start holding hands. So that way, everywhere in the morning, I start getting calls as early as 4 or 5 o'clock from America, from Africa, so all continents, because we're working with 108 countries. So all the time zones. So you're awake, literally you're awake all through. And don't ask me, how are you alive? Yes.
I think you're rallying around 12,000 children from
Perfect.
How many
108 countries,
right? I'm like, aren't you doing more than what the diplomats of the country should be doing?
In fact, that's what, when I met the ADG at UNESCO, she was like, Dr. Kesan, am I right in saying that you're working even beyond the UN? I said, maybe, probably, because I think they're working with 92 countries and we're working with close to 110 countries, 8 and 2 just buffer, so 110 countries.
That's amazing. How does that feel, and how do you see yourself envisioning that?
More than this, I would love to say one thing. You know what? Everywhere women are women. Everywhere politics is the same. Everywhere the narratives are same. Maybe they would say it with a slang. We would say it very straight. Some would articulate it better. Challenges are the same. I said, it's just the borders. It's just the lines. Maybe because of the skin color, hair color, we are being differentiated. That's about it. Everything almost rallies around being the same. So I don't find any changes. So everywhere it is a handful of people who create or want to create that change. And I'm so excited or happy to share that such women have come together for, Mission Shakti Sat.
Beautiful.
We always have, this is more like a sisterhood. We almost have the same thought processes. Wait, I want to say this. Wait, I want to say this. I mean, we're saying the same word. Maybe the slang was different, that's all. So that is why we thought what we are passing on to the future generation is very important. The narrative that we are going to send it down deep is very important. Girls can do it. You are not just made for fashion, films, and food. No. You are made for something beyond. So start believing in yourself. That's the first thing that we teach them.
Beautiful.
Very, very important, because self-doubt is killing everybody.
Yeah.
Competition is killing everybody. They've lost their childhood thinking about, what the XYZ is going to talk about. Become the youngest entrepreneur. Everything is in papers. The billions and millions are in paper. What is realistic, they lose out.
Yeah.
So we want to make them grounded, believe in yourself, walk through what is good for you, work. You don't need to look around left, right. Just walk. Create a new path. Be the leaders of tomorrow. We need women leaders.
Yes, we do.
A lot of them. So this mission is not only building a satellite. This is creating a movement.
More power to you.
Thank you. Need that.
Silicon Valley is so proud about building things from garage. And I loved it that you built your satellite from your kitchen. I'm like, this is a new norm here now. Women coming into this world and saying that I got the idea.
We can
in
do
our
it.
kitchen.
We can do
Yes.
it. There are hardly any women leaders in this industry who come out vocal to share their stories. So the young kids are clueless how and where to begin.
Yeah.
So it is not that you need to have an X amount of money, then start something. I would say, go with your gut, start, things will fall in place.
At the same time, I loved your vulnerability that you showed when one of the project was failed, and you didn't run away, right? You didn't run away. You didn't shy away. You just went there with tears in your eyes.
In fact, it was just years by the time I put that S, I had all these little girls. That is the impact. Shri, you just nailed it. You know what? The SSLV is the Small Satellite Launch Vehicle, D1, the new rocket of ISRO. Again, similar to the PSLV. Now they couldn't inject it into the right orbit. So it would be mentioned as it failed. The rocket failed. But there's tons of work and tons of hard work that our scientists have put in. So we cannot just negate that. And things like this do happen in space. And that's what we're teaching the girls. So these girls, it was so difficult for us to mop little funds to bring all these girls from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. We were able to only get about 400 of them to view the launch, because we thought the impact will be more when their satellite went up and they could really witness that.
Yeah.
So they all were so joyous, screaming and everything, and boom, in a second, everything crashed.
Yeah.
I was like, money is very difficult because we are not doing a profitable business here. So to put together another satellite will take a long time. Immediately my mind became blank. Who's going to be the funder? Who's going to come back again? How am I going to bring these children back again? Are we going to get another opportunity to do this? What is this? Everything, zoom, 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 it was. And the teardrop when I saw all these children's faces like this, it really broke my heart. And I'm like, oh my God. But can you believe these kids? They gave me a group hug and they said, Ma'am, this is space. That's what you told me. Anything is possible. Anything will happen. We are with you. We are going to be putting up another satellite. I said, that's the courage. A little platform, and see how they were able to speak about it with courage. So this is the impact we need
I
to
love
create
it. It was
globally.
more reverse coaching
Yes,
and reverse,
yes.
support that
Absolutely. So now the little seed that we sow is going to be a banyan tree, huge banyan tree.
That is amazing, and that is so heartwarming and touching, Srimathy. You feel that all this was worth it, even though this didn't work.
Yes,
Right?
yes. And 33 days we were in the lab, not coming out to build this. So this baby is the Azadi Sat, the Freedom Sat otherwise, for the 75th Indian independence. 750 girls from Kashmir to Kanyakumari were handpicked, and we taught them the nuances of small bit of coding and how you work with the electronics and everything. And they made those small payloads we sent to them. Then we integrated it in our lab. And 33 days, sleepless nights. That's the kind of work you do with satellites and rockets. People just comment once it goes up. Even now, the PSLV that went up had a little anomaly, and people had this, guts to say, "Oh my God, taxpayers' money! I really wanted to share this with you. Taxpayers' money, and I don't know why you have to do this." One day we switch off all the towers and we don't have WhatsApp coming. Will you be able to live? No. One day, no serials, no news, nothing on the television. Will you be alive? Weather reports, infiltrations in the border. You can't, right? So everything is to do with satellites. And people working behind this are also human beings.
Yeah.
So they need to understand that a human error can happen anyway. ISRO has got like 98% of success, unlike many other countries.
Yes.
Right? So if we are not able to stand with them, support them, I can make a absolutely bold statement here saying, can you stop a politician not to give a freebie? Can you stop them by not sticking posters outside? Whose money is it? Are you able to go and stand before them and talk? You cannot. Just because these are scientists, you want to put them down. So these are the things why children get nervous to get into this industry, because they are immediately backlashed.
Trust me, Srimathy, not just this industry, any industry, when we are judged so harshly, we are in a tight spot, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
here,
all
because
the glory is
this
lost.
money is, because they always say it's taxpayers. That's crazy.
No, all
then you're
the
not going to
glory-
move ahead.
The glory that you have brought all along just crashes in one day.
Chandrayaan 3, they get excited. Oh, India put the satellite close to the southernmost tip of the moon. Wow, we are so proud and all that. So that pride is only until you're there on television and
Exactly.
newspapers and you're there on headlines. After that, immediately one small, mistake and that's it.
That just amazes me how short-lived our memory is. And Srimati, I have one more interesting thought last night. AI is everywhere. Right? Medical exams to, art, and there is no space AI hasn't touched. Now, very soon, will you be sending AI bots to space? Is that in the cards?
Well, they've already started working with satellites and everything, and the datas and all that they were decoding when it came to Earth, Ilama, Ipo, they've started, working there in space itself to have AI centers and data centers and all that. That's the new one on the cards. But personally, if you ask me, I have a little different perspective over this. People say AI is a boon. Yes, of course, it's a boon in a lot of things. It is man-created. But I would say in the Indian narrative or in the Indian context, we need more people. I cannot see 4,000 layoffs and 12,000 layoffs and all this. We are the most populated country in the world.
Yeah.
We are the most intelligent people. I would always love to say that.
I second that 100%. Hands
And
down.
with the little infrastructure, we are able to build so many things. Why go dive deep into AI, compete with nations who've got older population, meager population? See, they have created this because the population is not youthful enough. So they wanted more intervention of machines and robots.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about quantum. You invest thousands of crores into quantum. Why? I mean, invest in factories, invest in some new cutting edge technologies where more human population can get jobs.
Yeah.
Build something that you can give it to the world. Make money out of it. Why ape them and do something and, do have layoffs and all this? That's why. So I don't talk much about the AIs.
But that's an inspiring thought. Yeah, build more, build for your country,
Yes,
and
yes. Not only built for country, built for the world.
yeah.
Built for the world.
I stated that because we are the highly populated country. Like, I loved the reference you gave. There aren't many people there, so they need AI. But
Yes.
we have,
Of course,
a
of
highest
course.
populated country. Yeah.
See, we are actually, if I have to tell you, right from as a child, we've been induced that we need to work for somebody, study well, get a job, get married,
Yeah.
have children, build home,
Pretty
die.
much Indian syndrome. Yes.
Okay? So this all. They don't want to think beyond. They don't want us to think beyond because this was all pushed to us. So that we are only having brain drain here. We're just setting off all the brains everywhere. They make bridges, they make everything because they have the money. They have our brains platform. They're able to do good. What are we doing here? We are aping them. We are pumping so much of money into all these things which are not really required. Instead, if we are able to build a Harvard here, we only have IITs. Why aren't we having a lab, a research-oriented university, which has students, even if they are only about 15 or 20 of them, brilliant minds, don't send them anywhere. Retain them here in India. Give them the opportunity. That is building India. That is what the future needs to be. It's not that you study well, get a visa, go away. No, I'm against that.
The why and the why nots, right?
Yes, even the VC culture, if you see now, you have an idea, everybody around the world are here, so we'll give your youth a free visa, a free citizenship. You can live there, work there, get married there. And what are we here for? I mean, we are today having a lighter conversation, but this actually hurts. It really hurts.
Yes.
A quantum doesn't require 1,000 crores now.
You just touched upon building things light, and I wanted to ask you, I'm just trying to bring the women perspective here, right? Not just because it's the SHE.E.O effect, I'm also trying to see how women bring their innate qualities into what they are building and what they are shaping. We as women, traditionally, women have the capacity to build anything in what is given to them.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely.
We're very famous for being very frugal and get things done when resources are low. I was just wondering, 64? Seriously, 64 gram satellite? Where did you get this idea from? What inspired you?
When you throw things to the universe, you know how it is, right? So universe was very powerful and it thought, okay, let's give this mad woman an opportunity. And that's how NASA announced a competition. It was basically a competition. And the competition had these rules that we needed to build something for 64 grams.
Oh, okay.
And this was by a company called iDoodle Learning Inc. in the US. And NASA was the launch partner. Colorado Space Ground Consortium was their knowledge partner. So they have defined this competition, this challenge. And 64 grams, anything you build, we will send you a box in which you have to put in that experiment, send it to us. But initially, you have to send us the proposal. So when we sent a proposal, we Indians are smart. Anything that is coming free, we'd like to make the best use of it. Because, to launch a satellite, I'm talking about 2017, it would cost $50,000 to $60,000 1 kilogram if you had to put it in space.
Okay.
It's that expensive.
Oh.
That expensive, and we couldn't afford it. So this came as a great boon for us. 64 grams. You had all the plush universities competing and everything. And we said, this is a competition world over. And we said, okay, let's do something and crack this. And that's where we built this. We sent a proposal, 64 grams. Let's build a satellite. And this is called a payload because people, when you say a satellite, oh, it didn't go around the Earth. You've got all those experts, professors, and everybody who's, oh, it didn't go around the Earth. I would say, come on, for people to understand, we want to bring space to the last child of this country for them to understand. People who are not really knowledgeable or aware of this, but are a part of this system. So we want them to be aware. So we use that term. So everywhere it is like, all eyeballs raised. But said and done, this was the lightest payload in the world, 3D printed, first ever one to go in a NASA's rocket.
Why?
We put in all the sensors and everything. We had a small onboard computer that picked up the data and everything. So this goes up and it stays in space. It goes out in the space environment for about 5 minutes, then gets in, and then it drops in the Atlantic Ocean. So there's a huge canister.
Okay.
So in that canister, they put all these payloads and send it up.
This is amazing.
It was life-changing moment for so many of them. Because every day after that, I would get an email, ma'am, I want to build a satellite. I want to build a satellite. See, that is the awareness we need to create. Yeah. It is not that you are going to be making money out of it. No, first create that impact. Create that awareness. That's very important. So that's what we did. And I think I'm super proud and happy to share 900 media covered this. Right from Telegraph, US, you had everything, Al Jazeera, everybody covering this, So, overnight heroes.
Trust me when I say this, I feel like, the pride I have in holding this right in my hand.
Thank you.
I cannot share.
Because this was,
words.
This was a suborbital mission. It goes up and it comes down. So, you do not have any rigorous testing formalities. So that is where we use the kitchen for that. Spin test, chalo, put it on the, around the fan, heat test, put it in, drop it in boiling water, freeze test, use the freezer. So we used everything possible at home to, conduct these tests and everything.
Speaking of children, we are talking about a lot of children here, right? We're talking about a distracted generation. A generation with digital, more time with their digital space. How is the experience working with Gen Zs, Gen Alphas? Because this is the most hottest topic right now, like working with Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. I would love to have your perspective. What is the strengths they are bringing in? And what is that we need to evolve to make this synergy beautiful for the future?
Lovely question, Shri. I just love it, seriously. Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Just love this generation, seriously. They are extremely talented. What we learned, in a most traditional way, we have to walk this path. We've got all preconceived ideas. We are a generation where too many things were thrown at us, stuffed upon us, made to believe. They are breaking all the stereotypes. Agreed, too many distractions, yes. They are creating the distractions and they again get back. See now, children, 14 until 18 years, if they can build a payload, the lightest payload in the world. Girls sitting in Kashmir, the deeper pockets where there was a bomb blast next to their houses. And from 10 children, they became 2 children. Such children can build payloads. I don't have anything more to say because it's just the thought process that needs to change. Yeah. If we don't take that one step, you always can't say, I'm an adult, I'm from this generation, we did this. If you start that narrative, it's like, oh, no, don't say you did this. No. It is sickening and it is tiresome. Give them the opportunity. You know what? This is the task. Do it. Get it done. Give them a stipulated time and everything. Yes, they will overshoot. But then you need to be there to tap their shoulder. You need to play that warm character that will understand them first. Why don't we do that? People talk about charity, donation, and all that. This is the best charity that they can do, is to understand the kids. Children are super smart. What you and I were taking weeks to complete, they will complete it in hours.
Yeah.
Just that we need to tell them that they can do it. Stand by them, give them that perks, they will do it. I love this generation. They are very vocal, bold enough to say something. What we would do is bottle up things.
Yeah.
Suffocate within ourselves, thinking that's a huge sacrifice we are doing. No, that's wrong. We are not living our life. They just live their life the way they want it. And that's not wrong. Every generation changes, and change is inevitable, and it has to be there. Only then there is growth.
Yeah.
So we cannot still keep saying that I'm going to do all these grinding and everything, sitting here, all these chores and all this, not using the electric. It's stupidity. They straight away say, Mom, why did you have to sit in the kitchen to do so much? Maybe you had better potential. You could do this for an hour and probably you could do this for 3 hours, which means it's not just earning money, but your talent is exposed and your soul is satisfied. You don't need to bottle up things. So they are just changing the narratives. They are changing the lifestyle. They are changing everything. Rather, they are the people who are holding the parents' hands strong enough and bringing the best out of us. You know why I'm going to say this? Why I'm saying this? I can see you. You are an entrepreneur, of course. No denies nothing about it. But I can see your son and your daughter-in-law bringing the best out of you, putting you in an uncomfortable position, saying that, oh, you got to do this podcast. But you're so good. If I had asked you this, say about 4 years ago, I'm not too sure you would have said yes to this.
Absolutely.
But today you look so good. And this the she is very, very important. So I'm so glad to be sitting with you and having this conversation.
Likewise, Srimathy. Likewise. Beautifully said. There is a lot the generation have to come together and do to evolve it to a future positive state.
Absolutely.
Lot that we in the previous generation need to let go and embrace the future that is evolving.
Big example is the COVID, and big example is the flood situation in Chennai and all that, because I worked completely with the younger generation. 102 days, just with 4 kids, we served food every day, 1,200 people. During the flood times, water was literally beyond my waist. We would just go inside. They would be like an army coming there, working late nights. The coming together is there.
Absolutely.
It's just that as older generation, we need to stand by them.
Yes.
We need to give them that way. Just be there and enjoy what they're doing.
Yes.
Probably a pat on the back every time. Give them that pep and appreciation. They will do the best in the world. They can just create Shambhala, I would say, because that's my dream, to build a space city.
Oh.
Yeah, for India,
I love it. Shambhala.
So I've been given the ambassador status to NASA, ESA, and GCTC space camps. So that pushed me hard to think beyond. And I said, why are we taking children only elsewhere to show something? Why aren't we creating something here in India? That's where I had the opportunity to meet Honorable Prime Minister and make a presentation, and to many other chief ministers. They really felt very excited, but they said, this is like, maybe you're 10 years ahead of this time and all that. But that's how you have to think. You have to envision.
Yeah.
You have to envision something for the country. Why are we spending so much of dollars and, to another country? Yes, of course, it's education.
Yes.
I do agree. Travel teaches so much.
Yeah.
And NASA, ESA and all are 60 years ahead of us. Yes, it's so good to be learning from them. But the last child of my country, who is from a village, who cannot afford a 5 lakh rupees, where is he or she going to learn about that? So that is my breath. My ultimate vision is to build Shambhala, the space
I love
city.
it. I love this. I'm truly hoping I'm going to be a teeny weeny part of it.
Of course, everybody, we need a lot of hands for that.
I'm in. Awesome. Okay, ready for a rapid fire?
Oh my God. This is the toughest part.
This is a fun part. It's a fun part. And you need to answer what first comes to your thought.
Okay.
Okay? So I remember reading about you that you refused to go to school one day that unless you were dressed like Indira Gandhi, right?
It was, run by sisters from Rome. And my dad was standing outside. They carried me inside, and the first question was, "What's your name?" The normal question. I said, "My name is Srimathy Indira Gandhi."
Ah,
And they were like, "What? Your name is Srimathy Indira Gandhi. What's your father's name?" My father's name is Srinivasan Jawaharlal Nehru.
oh,
They were like, "This child is insane." So then they called for my father and they said, "Why is she saying this?" Oh, then he said, "Oh, okay. Every day I listen to this one Tamil news," because we were living in Hyderabad. One Tamil news, and from 7 to 7:30 in the morning. That's where she get dressed to school. And I kept listening to the name Srimati Indira Gandhi, Srimati Indira Gandhi. So I thought probably my short version of my name was Srimati, and the complete name was
How
Srimati
cute.
Indira Gandhi. So when they asked my name, I said Srimati Indira Gandhi.
so cute. So the rapid fire question was power or boldness?
Life teaches you as you walk. Boldness is the first step. Power is the next step.
Okay, fantastic. A perfect sambar or a perfect satellite billet?
This is just too much. I would say a satellite because
Yeah.
I think I've crossed tons of sambars.
Okay, so you once launched a 3D printed satellite, is what you said, right? With a statue of actor Kamal?
Okay, that was for the high altitude balloon, and what we did for Diwali. For Diwali, Ogilvy actually had us, and they gave us an opportunity to fly in
Okay.
high altitude balloon to film how the city looked with their camera. They were
Okay.
launching a new series, and that's where we shot. So what we did was to give a tribute to him on his birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, so we put that, and we pictured with the camera that they were releasing.
Oh, okay. If you could send one politician permanently to a satellite, who would it be?
You're getting me into trouble. You know what? I need everybody.
Okay.
So it's that's what it's a very, very difficult question, because today, sitting on this side of the table, probably we will point a finger at them and say, this could be better, that could be better.
Yes.
When you are in that position to carry the country forward,
Yeah.
they need to make choices.
We will know it soon with you being aiming for that.
Oh,
right?
yes,
Isn't
yes, of course.
it? And then we'll talk again.
Yes.
You famously said that the budget of the movie Interstellar was higher than Indians' Chandrayaan mission, right?
Yes.
If Hollywood made a movie about your life, who would play Srimathy Kesan?
Oh my God. You are putting me in a tight spot. I actually love Sandra Bullock. A lot. But I would say, probably, why not have Srimati play that role? Because it would be more realistic. Why not have an Indian star in the Hollywood just like Priyanka Chopra and all that?
Yeah?
So I would say I love to play the movie myself.
Okay. What is the craziest thing that you have done to get a student a launch slot?
That's a beautiful question. This child, who is from government school in Velachery, Khushbu is her name. She comes from a very humble background, a family of 5 children. She's a topper right through. She aims to be a fighter pilot. So just trying to get that child the best that she can do. And the craziest thing is, we were invited as soon as this Azadi Sat was launched. We were given an opportunity to meet the World Bank chief, ISRO chairman, and DRDO chairman. So I thought this spot needs to be given to this child. So had taken her. That was the first flight for her. And she created history there.
Wow.
The audience were all IAS and IPS officers. The way she narrated her journey and what she spoke about what she wanted to become brought in tears. I think that's the craziest thing that can happen, I think, in the few years that I can remember. Because to give that kind of a place for a child, aspiring child like this, a girl child, I think is the craziest thing.
I can see your emotion in there, right?
I just love.
You
I'm
just
just
changed.
waiting.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. So this is just one Khushbu, but today we have 12,000 in the 108 countries. I've got stories and stories and stories.
12,000 stories to share.
Yes, yes. The crazy thing, putting a satellite to the moon
Yeah.
with 12,000 girls.
Thank you, Srimathy, for what you're doing. No, I cannot
you.
thank you enough.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Making the world borderless, right?
Absolutely.
Just with this initiative and bringing hope to so many young women out there,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
One drop in the ocean.
One drop in the ocean, yes. One at a time.
Yes.
And now you are going to impact a larger group of children, which is going to inspire so many out there in the world.
Generations to come.
Generations to come, yes.
You know, you're not only boggled down to kitchen, you're not only boggled down to fashion, food. See, here also people need to change, and we keep fighting for that. Why you brand women that they need to be pencil if they have to be on the ramp, if they have to come on television, if they have to be on the advertisements and everything. I was a choreographer, the family didn't know. I've done 55 ramp shows as a choreographer.
Oh my! Now this is getting interesting. I didn't pick that up anywhere.
Oh,
so.
I've not mentioned that at many places because
Yeah.
people cannot understand how, a choreographer can even do something like this. They brand you. That's where, the world is. They want to brand everybody into one box. You cannot be versatile. They cannot understand the versatility. There are a lot of jargons that we've aped from the West to say that if you focus on one thing, you get to the end. No.
Yeah.
I feel at least Indian brains, we right from as a child are given multiple tasks. We are forced, pressured also. So we are good with multiple things. So that way, this is one hat that I had on. And I've also produced, I've written script for about 6 art films and produced art films. And that's where I strongly feel that the big brands of jewelry and saris, I think should get curvy women to actually, brand it or stand in front of the cameras. These are the women who actually adorn that and walk.
Exactly. True.
So I cannot be a Priyanka Chopra every day. I mean, I am me.
Yeah.
So I am your consumer. So what are you trying to show people? Show the truth. So I really wish and hope somebody changes this narrative. That's where you get all these, people find it very difficult when I post such things. They say, "Oh my God, oh here she comes. Oh my God, she'll have some new ideas. She'll throw." But I think this is the truth, the simplest truth. We need to break all this. Let's do it, Shri.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to break these barriers, the myths, the biases.
And scientists are never on the ad films or anything. Why?
No, why not?
Why? I mean, we're not just made for labs, We have another beautiful side of ours that needs to be captured and brought out. After a long time, you have sportsmen now. So maybe after we keep talking about this, they'll have scientists someday.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to bring them on screens, children are not going to see them on a regular basis. This is for the answer for your first question, the Gen Z question.
Yeah.
If they're going to see only Hrithik Roshan's or Chiranjeevi's or Vijay's on the reels and everything, they want to ape them. If they're going to want to see Somnaths and Narayans and Goenka, working on satellites and space, they will want to build that. So that's where what we are giving the child to consume is very important.
Rightly said. And I also feel both are needed for the world. And how do we expose, them to the other side and utilize them to the best and keep inspiring the world for a better change and a better world.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. The most inspiring conversation. I got educated into the satellite and all of this work you do with this 64 gram, 10 gram. Now it's a 10 gram one.
No. It's going to be again like the Azadi sat. We're
Okay.
going to be sending about 15, 16 kilograms to low Earth orbit.
15.
And
Okay.
then we will be sending 1 kilogram to the moon.
1 kilogram. That's what
1
I thought.
kilogram to the
So,
moon.
It's very inspiring. I never had any, I was not aware of this space, and I got deeply engrossed and so excited about this. And it's wonderful to have you here talking about your work, the impact you do. Continue the good work, and I'm very soon going to see you in many places, I'm sure, and on the bigger platform.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Shri. Good luck to you too.
Thank you.